yes, because you are going
Yeah,
global now.
yeah. So I apologize for the whole
Yeah,
background.
it's fine, since it's the value that we're after. It's the value
Have
that we're
you?
after. We're really honored to have we started already. We're really honored to have um Dr. Babajide join us here this evening. I won't be wasting too much of his time. I'll just do a kind of brief introduction. So, as you can see, he's a very learned person, and I figured he's someone um, who is really passionate about um, topics like this. Who is really passionate about helping young people um, ace their applications, scholarship applications, and get access to better opportunities. And it's really great to have him here. He has his PhD from the University of Manchester. It's not easy. His MSc from the University of Greenwich. He's a career coach. He's the founder of Illumania. I personally can vouch that Illumania is doing a lot. Is doing a lot in terms of offering career advice and helping people review their CVs and so you can just go online. When you go on Google, just type Illumania. You find the website and then you see everything that you need to know about it. And it's not easy to have a scholarship for an MBA. That's not easy. It has a scholarship for that as well, and so many things. But without wasting time, we are here to hear from the one and only prolific Dr. Babajide Macaulay. Milton Macaulay, it's an honor to have you join us here, sir. Um, Over to you, sir. I'm definitely going to take notes, and then I employ people who are watching us to also take notes. And feel free to drop your questions in the comment section. If you are watching on YouTube, drop your questions in the comment section. Towards the end of this session, we um, would what's it called now? We would entertain questions, and then we trust that he's going to attend to those questions. But before we start, I would just like to say a word of prayer. Father, we thank you for Impact Bootcamp 2.0. Thank you for the first edition of Impact Bootcamp 2.0. Thank you for what you are set to do. Thank you for utterance. Thank you for information, accurate information that will be passed across. Thank you because people's eyes will be opened to opportunities today, and the capacity to put these informations to use will be granted unto them. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
So, over to you, Doctor.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks again for inviting me. I hope you can hear me clearly.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
So
sir.
I'm going to stop presenting.
yes, because I need to
Yes.
share my slide.
Okay.
Or
All
share,
right.
share my screen.
Yeah.
Um, so this is the part where I always struggle with what is it called? Google Meet.
Google Meet.
It's
Okay.
not very easy, and I don't know why. It doesn't. I'm coming now.
Okay.
That's
All
the
right.
difference between Google Meet and
Zoom.
Google Meet and what is it called?
Zoom, right?
Zoom is
Yeah.
so easy. Once you let me try to do this again now.
Yeah, I think it should be on
See,
your.
it's still not seeing it.
Okay.
It should be on where?
It should be on your.
It's opened now.
Okay.
I mean, the slide is open. I just need to connect it, but it's not seeing it.
Okay. Can you see the options on your homepage?
Yeah, so I have Chrome tab, window, and entire screen.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I've
So
seen it now.
okay,
I've
all right,
I've seen it now.
all right.
I've seen it now. Oh my God, Google
Sorry.
Meet. Okay, can you see my slide?
Yes, yes, yes,
Yes, sir,
yes.
you can.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, I finally got there. All right.
Awesome.
So it's a pleasure to be here, and I want to thank Charis folks for having me, particularly Victor Ojo for inviting me. Thank you so much. You could have invited. Now there are a whole lot of people who do this kind of stuff I do on LinkedIn.
Yeah,
You know,
yes.
you could have called on me. I have like 6 names at the top of my head. You know, but you
Wow.
chose to select me, so I'm honored and thanks again for having
Yeah.
me. So we are going to have a long night because I'm going to cover a whole lot of things. So I would like you to listen with rapt attention and take notes where necessary. You are going to get the slides. I'm going to release the slides. So don't worry,
Okay.
you will get the
All right.
slides. However, when I make examples that are not on the slide and I'm trying to buttress these points and you feel it's something that you need to take note, please feel free to jot such information down.
Okay.
So I've been told to speak on exploring international scholarships. And I think one reason why he chose me would be that I've won a lot of scholarships even before I got to the university. My first scholarship was before I got to the uni. I won the first one. It was just 20K, but
Wow.
20K in 2003 is big money.
Ah, it's big
Uh-huh.
money.
Exactly. So I got 20K. Then when I got into school, then I got total EPNL scholarship. Total is now called Total Energies. I got their scholarship as an undergrad. I also got federal government of Nigeria undergraduate scholarship. So I got those two as an undergrad. Then I also got the Redeemed Christian Church of God scholarship. Many of you don't know that RCCG actually gives scholarship to their members, but it's not automatic. You write an exam. And so I got that one as well. So I was on these three when I was an undergrad. And when I finally graduated, I then started my journey to searching for scholarships internationally. And then I was fortunate to get two for my master's. I got the London Metropolitan University Scholarship, LMU. Then I got the Commonwealth Share Scholarship. Now, the LMU one only covered school fees. So I needed to pay for flight fees, accommodation, and all of that amounted to about 3.2 million naira, which I didn't have. So when Commonwealth came, it was a saver. It was a saver because Commonwealth covers everything, everything, visa fees, medicals, flights, accommodation, living stipend, everything. Commonwealth covers everything. So when Commonwealth came, it was it was a lifesaver. It was a lifesaver. And so after that, I also applied again to Commonwealth for my PhD, which I was fortunate to win for the second time for my PhD. And then after that, I saw the OKP, which is the Orange Knowledge Program, um, that is sponsored by the Netherlands, the Dutch government. And so I applied for a short course. It was a short course of 2 weeks, and I got it. I got the OKP for a short course. That was in 2021. Then after that, I got a couple of ones again. There was one I applied for a biogas training in Sweden, virtual, but they only wanted 16 people, and I was selected. So that as well. Then I also got the OAP, that's the Open Africa Power Program, OAP, the Open Africa Power Program, to train youth leaders on sustainable power, right? So when I applied, now you'll be surprised that why is this guy applying for these kind of things? Well, it's because I trained as an environmental scientist, and at some point I started getting interested in solid waste, And then part of solid waste that also interested me was organic waste. And then I realized that you can generate electricity from organic waste. How? In the absence of oxygen, anaerobic digestion of organic waste will produce a gas. That gas is methane gas, primarily methane gas. And it can be used for cooking. It's called biogas. It can be used for cooking. It can be used to generate electricity. It can be used for heating. It can be used to do a whole lot of stuff, right? So I started getting interested in that. And that's why I went on to, to train on biogas in Sweden. I also, applied for sustainable power, because this is renewable energy source. It's called biogas. And then there is this, how do I call it now? There is this proposition that economies should start thinking bioeconomy, where most of the things they produce can be recycled and then reutilized again. And biogas is one of such things, because when you utilize all your goods and they become waste, that waste can also generate electricity. So nothing eventually becomes waste. Everything is utilized. That's a bioeconomy or a circular economy, as the case may be, right? So then, because of the startups I started to create, because I'm also an entrepreneur, I'm a businessman, but then my businesses are usually in the education sector, edtech, so that makes sense. I decided to apply for an MBA, and I was fortunate to get fully funded executive MBA scholarship from the Quantic School of Business and Technology in Washington, D.C. It's a virtual program, so I'm running it while I'm here in Nigeria. Okay, so that's the last one I won. So I've won a couple of scholarships in my lifetime and a couple of fellowships as well. The fellowships helped to develop my leadership skills, while the scholarships armed me with hard skills for academia and knowledge, in my career development as an academic, in a university. Okay, so all of this probably makes me competent to speak on this topic, right? So in a couple of, within the next hour plus, I will show you a number of things that have helped me to win the things that I have, or to attain the status that I have today, and how I have picked up one or two strategies from them, and I'm going to share them with you, because these are the strategies I use in my company, Illumania, and I've been able to help over 250 people across Africa to also secure international scholarships of their own, transforming their lives forever. So you are not any different. You can also win same if you follow these strategies. So what are they? Let's dive in. All right. So content. You can see there's a whole lot of stuff I want to share with you today. One is self-evaluation. The other is factors to consider, choosing the right course, considering a career switch. For some of you that are thinking of changing the course of study from your university, you want to go into something else, but you are not sure of how that aligns with your scholarship pursuit, I will tell you what to do. Getting your documents ready, the kind of documents you should get prepared for scholarship opportunities abroad. Searching for the right scholarship, because scholarships are candidate specific. So you can't be applying aimlessly, like sporadically for all the scholarships that you see. Don't do that, because you will chop breakfast. You will chop breakfast. So there is a way you look for the right scholarship for you, such that the number of breakfasts that you are going to chop will reduce. What I mean by that is the number of heartbreaks, the number of rejections will reduce. Now, following instructions to the letter, some people have lost scholarships just because they missed out on a simple instruction that they failed to follow. You don't want to be that person. Writing an award-winning scholarship essay. I will tell you the structure of a typical essay. Another name for this is SOP, motivational letter, letter of intent, and so on. It has a whole lot of names. They have maybe about 6 variations. Emailing a prospective supervisor, for those of you that prefer North America, The practice is that you send a cold email to a supervisor first, a prospective supervisor, and when he or she sees your email, likes your profile, likes everything you're doing, the person can now say, please go ahead and apply. I'll be happy to supervise you. When you get such a nod, that's when you can go ahead to start your application. Again, this is for North America. Then I'll share some common mistakes to avoid. And then we will now look at how you can get professional support if you need one. And finally, I will give you a list of 20 Facebook pages that you can follow. 20 Facebook pages that you can follow for scholarship info. When you follow them, you are going to be getting scholarship information, scholarship ads in real time. You'll be getting them on your timeline, so you will never miss out on them. Okay. Now let's look at self-evaluation. Where do you see yourself in 10 years' time? Where do you see yourself in 10 years' time? Now, why am I starting with self-evaluation? I'm starting with self-evaluation because if you don't have a good idea of the future you are trying to build or the future you are trying to design, because you are the architect of your own future, you are the architect of your future, right? Now, if you don't have an idea of the future you are trying to design, the future you are trying to build, then you will not be sure of the kind of opportunity that you need. You will not also be sure if you even need an additional degree to get that future. Then you won't be sure whether you even need a scholarship at all. That's why I'm starting with self-evaluation, so that you can ask yourself questions like, where do I see myself in 10 years' time? What kind of opportunity do I need to get there? Do I need an additional degree to accelerate my growth? Is it important? For some of you, you don't actually need an additional degree. What you need is certifications. You know, I know some people, some friends of mine that they just did additional certifications, about 4 of them, and they don't need masters at all. And they are growing and growing and growing in their profession, right? One actually is working with KPMG and is already a manager. He doesn't have a master's degree. All he has are certifications. He has certifications. And I will tell you that these certifications are important in his field of study. So look at your sector, look at your discipline, look at what is operative in your niche, in your line of work, and then ask yourself whether what you need is an additional degree or an additional certification. Then ask yourself, what type of assistance or network do I need? If my financial resources can get me there, or if my financial resources cannot get me there, can I take advantage of benefits of scholarships? Right? If I'm not financially buoyant, can scholarships help me? And lastly, how strong is my profile? How strong is my profile in getting the attention of these scholarship sponsors, the people that have the money, and they are dropping it for people like me to have a better life, right? Philanthropists interested in education, you know, funding education, ensuring that youths from disadvantaged communities, underserved communities will have a second chance. They will have a shot at studying at the best universities in the world, right? So these are the questions you need to ask yourself. Depending on your answer, then we will now be sure whether the rest of this talk is for you or is not for you. You should just go and do something else. Okay? Now let's go on. Factors to consider. What I mean here is factors to consider when you are pursuing a scholarship, an international scholarship. Factors you need to consider. Now, there are 10 of them here. Number one is your CGPA. Now, these factors are factors that actually define your profile, that will help you evaluate the strength of your profile, whether you are good enough to apply or whether you have some work to do. So I'll run through them and I need you to assess yourself, because at the end of the day, you need about 5 items out of these 10 to stand a chance to win international scholarships. If you possess 5 out of these 10, then I can assure you that your profile is strong enough to attract international scholarships. The first one is CGPA, and I mean a minimum of 2.1. If you have a minimum of 2.1 at CGPA, then your CGPA is strong and you can go ahead confidently to apply. If it's less than 2.1, it means that you have to look for other things on this list to top up, since CGPA is not one of the 5 that you have as strengths. Look at 5 other things here that you can utilize. The second one is leadership, service, influence. What does this mean? Have you served in any capacity? Some of you served in your departmental associations when you were an undergraduate student. For example, I served as GenSec of the National Association of Biology Students, NABS, because I studied biology in my first degree at FUTA, Federal University of Technology, Akure, Ondo State. Now, I was GenSec, and later I went on to SRC of FUTASU, FUTA Student Union, and then I later became electoral chairman of my departmental association, and then went up to become electoral chairman of my faculty. So I held a whole lot of offices during my time. I was also the budgetary and finance committee chairman of my faculty, right? So I had a whole lot of leadership experiences. And I also graduated with a first class. My CGPA was 4.64. So you can understand how I was able to attract scholarships to myself, because the moment the scholarship sponsors ask for academic awards, I had scholarships I had won before. Like I told you, the one I won before I got in Iju Scholarship Initiative, the one I won as an undergrad, 3 of them, total FGN and RCCG. When I mentioned all this, I'm sure it made them go, oh, wow, this is amazing. I'm sure. At the same time, they asked for CGPA, and I told them what the CGPA was, and they said, oh, it's a first class. Fantastic. And then when they asked for leadership or voluntary experience, I also had about 5 experiences that I've had in leadership. So you can see I ticked every box, and that is why I probably stood a very big chance of winning the Commonwealth Scholarship and the others that I also won. Now, so that number 2 is talking about your leadership capacity in any form. Have you led in any capacity? And you must be able to show it. You must be able to show it, because you must talk about it in your application. Number 3 is community or development impact. What this one is saying is, did you volunteer in such a way that you fixed some problems in your society? Now, this is not a leadership issue. This is an issue that has to do with serving your community. For example, during my NYSC, I was a member of the drug-free club. The drug-free club was affiliated to the NDLEA, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency in Nigeria. So you can see that it has to do with sensitization of people on drug abuse, right? And trying to make sure that you encourage youth to do away with any psychoactive drugs or performance enhancing drugs or drugs that will just make people's brain knock, right? So during my NYSC, and I was a member of the drug-free club affiliated to the NDLEA, I got elected as GenSec again, General Secretary of the Drug Free Club. So the leadership part was there, but the community development part was that we then proposed public campaigns, sensitization programs at different communities in the states where I served, Kebbi State. Bunza, it was the local government at the time, Bunza. And then we entered into some of the little towns there and then sensitized the youths against drug abuse. So when you write a story around this, they will know that you've done something for your society. You've done something for your community. So if you have an experience of this sort, it means that one of the factors that you need to succeed, you actually have. Let's look at number 4. Number 4 is internship work experience. This I combined because it starts from, your work experience starts from internship. When you were in 400 level as a Futerian, or maybe in final year in other conventional schools, and you had your 6 months or 12 months or 3 months internship at an organization, that experience can be recorded as work experience, especially if it's relevant to the course of study that you're applying for. Especially if it's relevant to the course of study that you're applying for. Also, when you graduate, your NYSC experience is a work experience because an organization has taken you to work with them for 12 months. Okay? Even if it is a teaching experience, it is fine. Because if you intend to apply for a scholarship for master's or PhD, and they realize that you have a teaching experience, it will help you in case you are applying for roles like graduate assistantship, graduate teaching assistantship, or graduate research assistantship. They will see that you've been a teacher before. So that is very helpful. Especially for those applying for PhD, it's extremely helpful because as a PhD student, you will always be taken in as a GTA to support teaching. Like myself, while I was a PhD student at Manchester, I was a graduate teaching assistant supporting the teaching of some courses at the University of Manchester. Courses like data analytics, courses like sustainable environmental management, courses like geochemistry, and then the last one was environmental impact assessment. So I supported the lecturers teaching these courses, and I was like an extra hand in the class to support the teaching. I sometimes assessed the students if they were doing a practical or if they were doing a presentation. I was grading them. I also supervised some activities in class. But I did not stand before them to teach because that's the duty of the lecturer. But I was supporting him in other ways, right? To ensure that the class, the lecture, is a fun one and the learners get maximum learning experience from it. Now, the 5th one to look at is professional memberships. Now, this is not a big deal. This is a situation where you've joined the membership of a society that is relevant to your discipline. For example, those in management, NIM is one, right? The Nigerian Institute of Management. CIPM, for those that are in HR, I think that is Chartered Institute of Personnel Management, if I'm not wrong. And that is for people in HR. NSC is for engineers, and this is the Nigerian Society of Engineers. So, and there are a whole lot more. So, if you are a member of these kind of prestigious and recognized societies, please mention it because it will help a great deal. What this does is that it adds to your credibility as a professional. Number 6 is relevant training. In case you've gone on Coursera, Udemy, FutureLearn, you are on any of this, and you saw courses that you liked relevant to the master's course that you intend to study, and then you took them, please mention it in your application, because it's one of those powerful factors that can help you. It's not just about online courses that are relevant. Also, during your NYSC, at your camp, you would see that some organizations will come to camp to train you on certain things, certain skill sets, certain knowledge. You would realize that, let me give you a good example. During NYSC at my camp, that is when one organization came to teach us about HSC, health, safety, and environment. And they also said that they will prepare us to write the international exam of HSC 1 to 3. And I think it only cost about 20,000 at the time. And then many of my colleagues wrote it. Many of my colleagues. Unfortunately, I didn't write it, and I won't lie, I regret that I did not. Because if I had done it then, I would have done it for as low as 30K. But right now, for me to do it, it will cost me around 150K. So there are some opportunities you have at NYSC that is very cheap. Take advantage of it at the time. But if you are not aware and you miss it, when next you are ready, it's going to be very expensive. Another kind of skill set that is very important that you can learn, that you can showcase and talk about in your application, are skill sets like ArcGIS for those that are in geospatial disciplines, geospatial technologies, geosciences as well. R for those in data science, those that will be using data a lot. Python, same applies, right? So if you have any of these skill sets, feel free to mention in your application because it's a powerful factor. Number 7, relevant conferences attended. If you have attended a conference and you presented, please, it's not just that you attended, but that you presented. Then this is a point that you can add as a full factor. But if you just attended, it's not enough. If you presented, then please, by all means, mention it because it's going to help you a great deal. Number 8, academic publications. In this case, it means, have you published academic papers? If you publish academic papers, then I will encourage you to mention it in your application. Mention it because it's going to help your application a lot, especially if the paper that you published is relevant to that program that you're applying for, to the master's or the PhD course that you're applying for. Number 9, previous academic / non-academic awards. For some of you that have been winning awards before, maybe best in your department, best this, scholarships and all that, this is the place to mention them. So it will stand alone as a factor because you've been winning scholarships before in the past. It will encourage these new guys to also give you a scholarship. So please feel free to mention it if you've won any academic thing in the past. Now, take note, it's not just academic, it can be non-academic too. So there are some awards that are relevant. They are non-academic, but they are important. Maybe awards of leadership, awards of stewardship, right? Those kind of awards, please, they are very important. Mention them. But please don't mention awards like most beautiful. All these vain awards, they are vain. They really don't have any value for this kind of opportunities that you're applying for. Most beautiful, most handsome, most popular, all those ones, please, they are not going to work here. Okay? And finally, others, which I want to call fellowship, summer schools, any other opportunity abroad that is to build your competence, build your soft skills, right? If you want such things, maybe you were shortlisted for a fellowship internationally that you did, please mention. If you were shortlisted for a summer school where you traveled to Malaysia to experience it, please mention it. So these are the 10 factors to consider. You can see I took my time to go through each one because this particular page is extremely important. It is the way to evaluate your profile. It is the way to self-evaluate the strength of your profile. Now, you can ask yourself, am I good enough to win a scholarship? Look at all this and you will know. As I said, you need to have at least 5, any 5 of these 10. So by the time you look at your profile and you can only account for 3, that means you have some work to do. You have some work to do. So this is a very important slide because it tells you 10 different factors to consider before you can even apply for a scholarship. So by looking at this, if the factors here, you are not seeing it in your profile, you are not seeing it at all, then you know that you are far from winning a scholarship. But if you can even count 6 or 7, it means you are a typical scholarship candidate, right? And that means you are scholarship worthy. Okay, so take note of that. Choosing the right course. Choosing the right course. Now, why is this important? I noticed that some people don't get scholarships not because they are not competent or because their profile is weak. The reason they did not get the scholarship is that they chose the wrong course. So it was like a mismatch. By the time the scholarship sponsors were looking at the course that the person chose and their background and all that, they realized, why did this person choose this course? There is no correlation. There is no correlation between their experience and the course that they picked. No correlation. For example, if your experience is in banking, that means you want to choose a course that have to do with management or finance. You don't want to choose a course out of the blues, just say agriculture. And your experience is in banking. Out of the blues, you just mentioned agriculture. You can't do that. Okay, so the course you are choosing must be related to your work experience, previous degree, or demonstrated capacity, because they will look at it to know whether to give you the scholarship or not for that course. The course must be related to a passion or interest you claim you have, because if you say you are passionate about something, then they are supposed to see it. That's why you are applying for it. And again, they will look at your profile and realize it's what you have also been doing for a while. So there will be consistency. Now, the course must be consistent with your profile. Of course, it must be something that reflects your strength. It must be something that reflects the activities in your profile. Not something that is entirely new. You don't have a background in it at all, and you say you want to study it. You won't get a scholarship. They won't give you. They will say you are not competent. They will say you are not fit. You are not fit enough to get a scholarship for it. Why? Because your profile is not an exact match. Now, the course must solve a problem or a challenge in society. You don't want a course that is not relevant. It must be a course that is solving a problem in today's world so that organizations can call you and you'll be growing up the ranks. Organizations can employ you. Organizations will respect you. They won't be able to sack you just anyhow. Why? Because you possess a skill set that they need. You are solving a problem. An added advantage if it can help attain one of the 17 SDGs. So a good advantage is if the course you're applying to has a reasonable contribution to achieving the SDG. So it will make sense and it will make scholarship sponsors to consider your application. The next one is that it should be relevant in today's world and potentially attract the attention of most academics globally. Any course that is not relevant in today's world, you are going to suffer. You will suffer because you will graduate and you will be looking for a job like PIN. Also, it must potentially attract attention of most academics. So you want to choose a course that most academics are interested in, because if you apply for a scholarship, they are likely to be the one that will tell you to go ahead. They are likely to be the one that will tell you, go ahead and apply. Okay? So if you now go ahead and apply, that is when you now get the scholarship. They are also likely to be the one to assess your application. So it must, the course you are applying for must attract them. And finally, must be consistent with the future you are trying to build. What is the point of chasing a scholarship on, let's say, so let's say you studied English language, and then you are telling me that the course of study you want to apply for is English language again. And I say, really? What is the future you want to have? And you tell me, oh, the future I'm thinking of is in media and communications. If the future you are trying to get is in media and communications, then English language is not what you should be doing at master's level. Again, what you should be doing at master's level should be masters in media and communications, or masters in media and journalism, or masters in global communications. You know, there are many variations that you can do that will help you achieve that goal, that future of becoming a media expert. But please don't go ahead and say, I will do English. Why? Because, as I said, that course must be consistent with your future. Hello? Hello? Can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yes, sir, we can. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Please give me a second. I think someone is knocking on my door and I need to attend to the person quickly.
Okay.
Give me just a second, please.
All right.
All right, I'm back. Apologies. Sorry. That's what happens sometimes.
Yeah,
just can't.
it's fine, sir. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, so I just had to quickly attend to that. If not, the person will just be stranded there knocking for ages. So I just said it's best I take permission and quickly attend to it. So let's go on. Now, just as I was saying, the course has to be consistent with your future that you're trying to build. You don't want to go after a course that will just plunge you into, a path that has nothing to do with the future you're trying to build. So there has to be some consistency. So you can see your past and your future must connect. The course will connect your past experience with a future plan that you have, because they will also look at your profile to know whether it's a good fit for the course, and then that course also must also put you on the right path for the future that you're trying to build. Okay, now the last note there says the nomenclature of some courses may change in foreign schools. Please take note of this. I will emphasize this by the end of this talk. What I mean is that nomenclature is simply the name, the title of the course that you studied. I'll give two examples, but I'll expatiate more. I'll expatiate more at the end. Now, for example, some of you studied accounting, and then you would now be looking for masters in accounting again. You don't necessarily have to do masters in accounting again, because of the way the world is really changing so fast. You don't need to do masters in accounting again. You can do masters in financial technology. You can do masters in business analytics. So please understand that nomenclatures may change, and you'll be surprised or shocked that when you check the content for some of these courses, your background in accounting will help you to be able to offer these courses. But don't make this error where, because you studied a particular course at bachelor's, you will start looking for the same course again, the same nomenclature at master's. For example, you did mass communication bachelor, you now start looking for mass communication at master's. My dear, many universities abroad, they don't offer mass communication because mass communication has been split into different components now. NUC finally, realized it and then split our own mass communication into 7 parts, but they did it too late because it was done about 4 years ago. It was too late. The rest of the world had done this about 15 years ago. NUC finally woke up 4 years ago. It's too late. So some people have their bachelor's as mass communication. Don't start looking for masters in mass communication because you're not going to find. But start looking at courses like global communication, media and journalism, media and communications, because mass communication is literally a communication course. So you just see different variations of communications, and you see those are the kind of courses that you should go for. So take note of nomenclature of courses that they may change in foreign schools. Let me give you another example. You might be a graduate of microbiology and you are interested in the area of microbiology that is called environmental microbiology. So you started looking for masters in environmental microbiology. Some schools will not call it environmental microbiology. For example, my university where I did my PhD, University of Greenwich, that's my MSc. The PhD is the University of Manchester. You'll be surprised that, or shocked that, instead of calling it environmental microbiology, they called it geomicrobiology. See, geo is earth, microbiology is the study of microbes. If you combine, that's you are studying microbes in the earth. It's the same thing that is environmental microbiology. It's the same thing because the environment is the planet, is the earth. So they just decided that they are going to have a different nomenclature to funkify it, to make it special. So they call it geomicrobiology. So if you are looking for environmental microbiology at the University of Manchester, you might not find. Then you now say, they are not offering the course. That's not true. You fail to know the nomenclature for that type of course in that school. That is why you need to be aware of this so that you can take your time to go through the courses they have before you conclude that they really don't have the course you are looking for. Now, are you here listening to me and you are considering a career switch? Because I have some group of people who come to me and then they tell me that they are considering a career switch. And they would say, sir, I studied agriculture, but I don't want to do anything related to agriculture. And I'll ask, so what do you want to do? And then they say, I'm interested in data analytics. Data analytics, that's what I want to do. Some will say, I'm interested in an area of tech. And I'll say, what area of tech? And they will tell me, product management. And I'll say, okay, that's fine. But the problem they always make, or should I say the error they make is, don't forget, their degree is agriculture. They want to apply for data analytics, masters. Please, what do they have in their profile that makes them competent to apply for data analytics? Nothing. They are just telling me based on how they feel. I want a career switch. I prefer data analytics. You will not get a scholarship that way because scholarship sponsors look at your background to see whether it's a good fit for the course that you have selected before they now give you the scholarship. They look at your background. If they look at your background and they find agriculture, please, what is the relationship between agriculture and data analytics? There is no relationship. And that is the reason why they are likely not to pick such a person. So when you are doing a career switch, what should you do? If you know you are doing a career switch, don't jump into applying for scholarships. Don't. What you're supposed to do is to take some years off, 1 or 2 years. Take those years of post-graduation in order to build your profile in this new area. You are supposed to intern or get a job or volunteer so that you can grow your profile in this new area of interest. What you're supposed to do is to acquire professional qualification or certifications in this new area of interest. Start building it. Start building. It's almost like you're starting afresh. It's almost like you're starting afresh. So build competence and build experience in this new area. Ensure that just by looking at your CV, no one will be confused on what your interest is. That means you have been consistent in your new area. What this means is this. When I see your CV, I would see that you are working as a data analyst in a company, but I will see that your degree was in agriculture. Immediately, I will know that you have transitioned. I will know that agriculture is what you studied, but you have transitioned to data analytics. And so by the time you write me and you tell me, I'm interested in data analytics, I will believe you that yes, you stand a chance, because I can see that you have successfully transitioned to a new field. But if you have not started building your portfolio in this new area and you just start applying for a scholarship in the course, they will not pick you. Why? Because your background is not matching. So take note of that. If you are doing a career switch, you need some years to build your portfolio or to build your competence or profile in this new area. Please take note. And then once you do that, you can start pursuing global opportunities. Now, let's look at getting your documents ready. What kind of documents do you need for you to process scholarships abroad? What kind of documents do you need? Number one, you need your original bachelor certificate. I am aware that some universities abroad will not accept statements of results from you. They will not, while some universities will accept it. So to be sure, just ask the graduate office. In North America, they call them graduate office. In Europe, they call them postgraduate office. Just send an email to the postgraduate office and say, my certificate is a statement of result. This is what it looks like. I hope it will be fine for me to use to apply for admission for a master's program. Just ask them and they will respond and tell you, yes, it's fine. Please go ahead. By all means, apply. Or they'll tell you, oh, no, we won't take statement of results. We prefer your certificate, so that you know exactly what you're supposed to get. Now, to be sure, send a message to the international admissions office. I've told you. Sometimes they call them postgraduate office. Sometimes they call them graduate office. Sometimes you see it as international office, and sometimes you see it as admissions office. The second document you need is the official transcript. Now, it has to be an official copy with no watermarks, which says not to be used for official transactions. Now, the student copy only. By the way, you can actually use student copy only. I just realized that universities are accepting student copy only. So they can take it, because it's not that it's fake. It's not that something is wrong with it. It's just your personal copy, and universities will accept it from you. The one I'm sure that they will not accept is if that transcript has been destroyed with a watermark that says not to be used for official transaction. That means it can't be used as an official document. So the moment they spoil it with a statement like that, that means you cannot use it. That means you have to write to your school to send your transcripts to the foreign university of choice. The third document is your international passport. Of course, you need your international passport. If not, how are you going to get onto the plane? How are you going to get onto the plane? Of course, you need your international passport. Now, the international passport costs between 40 and 60K right now. And it can be done at any immigration office in Nigeria. Any immigration office in Nigeria, that is in any state at all. And I noticed that some people like to go to states where there is no much noise, and so they will be able to get it done faster. Yeah, because imagine that you are doing your international passport in a state like Ondo State. It will be very fast. There will be no issue. But if you do it in a state like Lagos, you have to wait for 3 months because of the pressure in Lagos. There are a whole lot of people applying for this document at the same time. Another document you should consider is the proof of English language proficiency. Now, this is very important. I must add that many universities have waived this document such that Nigerians have been told not to submit such a document anymore because they've been recognized as a country where English is their official language. But if they insist that you should write the exam, then the kind of exams that you should write are IELTS or TOEFL. IELTS or TOEFL. I'm also aware that some universities will ask you to submit WAEC. Some universities will ask you to submit your WAEC certificate. And in your WAEC certificate, they are only looking for one course, and that course, or should I say subject, they're only looking for one subject, and that subject is English language. And they want to be sure that you have a minimum of C6 in English before they can then accept it from you. Now, there are some universities that will not ask you to write an English test like IELTS, which is a British-based exam, or TOEFL, which is an American-based exam. They won't even ask you to send in your WAEC. What they will ask you to submit is a letter of English language proficiency, a letter that you can obtain from the registrar of your university. That letter would say that you are a student of their school and that the language of instruction in your school is English and that you were taught in English. That is all. Just a letter that shows that indeed, though, you were taught in English. That's what is called a proof of English language proficiency, a letter of English language proficiency. Many universities ask for this letter, and you can always get them from the registrar of your university. And this letter is supposed to be free. So find out. It's supposed to be free. The letter is free in my university footer. I hope that it is free in yours. Finally is reference letters. Reference letters. Now, do not forget, choose credible and visible referees only. A referee that you cannot Google his name and you see what he's doing. Please don't mention such person as referee, because at the end of the day, the person might even come and ruin your application for you. So be careful with the way you choose referees. Your referee does not necessarily have to be a professor. Your referee can even be a mister. Your referee can be a Mrs. Not until you get a professor, not until you get a PhD holder. Please take note. The most important thing is that the referee has taught you before and can attest to your ability. The referee has taught you before and can attest to your ability. That is all. Okay? Now, as a rule of thumb, if 3 are requested, I mean 3 referees are requested, select 2 academic and 1 non-academic. What non-academic referees mean are referees that are not from the universities that you graduated from. That is, referees that are not your previous teachers or lecturers. Referees that are not your previous teachers or lecturers, they are not academic. That means they are non-academic. For example, your superior at work can be a referee, and that person is a non-academic referee. Someone of high reputation in society can also write you a reference letter. Such a person cannot say much about your intelligence. That person can only say about your character. So take note. Non-academic references, they often help to shed more light on one's character, while academic references will shed light on one's intelligence. So please take note. The non-academic also sheds light on the applicant's work ethics. Work ethics. How often do you come to work? How dedicated are you to work? Do you run away from responsibilities? These are the things that will determine the kind of answers that they are going to give if you go and meet a non-academic referee, because the person will write from the place of your non-academic achievements, while the academic one will be your previous lecturers. All right, now let's look at choosing the right scholarship. Choosing the right scholarship. Now, just as I said when I was speaking, you are not supposed to be applying for all the scholarships. You just see any scholarship, you apply. You see this one, you apply. You see that one, you apply. The reason is because scholarships are candidate specific. So you must check whether that scholarship accommodated or accommodates your course of study. You must be sure that the scholarship accommodates your course of study. Because if that scholarship has a list of courses that they fund and the course you are interested in is not on that list, that means that scholarship is not for you. That means that scholarship is not a scholarship that you should apply for. The next point says the scope must cover your country of birth or residence. That means the scholarship scope must cover your country of birth or residence. What that means is that if the scholarship is for people from the Middle East, that means it did not even cover your country. Then it's not a scholarship for you. Leave them alone. If it says this scholarship is for people from Europe, that means it did not cover your country. You better leave them alone. So please check the scope of the scholarship, whether it covers your country of birth or it covers your country of residence. Also check the focus of the scholarship, whether it is consistent with your profile. You must be able to check whether that scholarship is consistent with your profile. The focus. What I mean is this scholarship is for who? When you check, you would see the kind of candidates that they want to admit, that they want to offer the scholarship to. Ask yourself, all these things that they are writing, are they consistent with my profile? If the answer is no, that means you are very likely to chop breakfast. You are going to chop breakfast. The next one is that you must fulfill key eligibility criteria. Now, the eligibility criteria, did you fulfill it? Did you fulfill that eligibility criteria? Did you fulfill it? So you ask yourself whether you fulfilled that basic eligibility criteria. The second one is that you must be willing to stick to the conditions attached to the scholarship award. For example, the Commonwealth says that you must return to your home country after you graduate. So you have to return to your home country. You have to return to your home country. You don't want to start a scholarship type that at the end of the day, because you don't want to come back, you will now start breaking the rules of the scholarship. You will or you may have a problem at the end of the day. So please take note of this. A scholarship that says you must come back and you know you don't have plans to come back, then don't apply. Don't apply for it, because there are other scholarships that you can apply for that are quiet on you coming back to your country after you are done. A good example is the Erasmus Mundus scholarship. They are quiet about you coming back to your country. As a matter of fact, if you stay in Europe, they will happily embrace you, because it's a scholarship that sends candidates to Europe. So they will happily embrace you. Okay? Now, your profile must be strong enough to meet the selection criteria of the scholarship sponsors. Now, that brings me to two phenomena. They are eligibility criteria and selection criteria. What's the difference? Eligibility criteria means that the minimum required condition, or should I say the minimum requirement needed for you to apply, is eligibility criteria. Minimum requirements. And that's why when you see any advert, you will see that they will talk about the eligibility criteria. Later, they will now talk about the selection criteria. Any opportunity at all, pay more attention after this class, and you will see that I am right. You will see they will put eligibility criteria, then later you will now see selection criteria. What's the difference? Eligibility criteria is the minimum, basic minimum for you to come in, apply for that thing you want to apply for. Basic minimum. And that means it can be something as simple as saying you need to have a 2-1, something as simple as saying you need to be between 25 and 35 years old. So these are minimum requirements. Nothing special, is at its barest minimum. But this is not what will win you the scholarship. What will win you the scholarship is the selection criteria. Later on, as you are reading the advert, you now see selection criteria. That is what they will use in selecting the scholar at the end of the day. When you look at selection criteria, you now see things like leadership experience. You now see things like academic laurels. You now see things like maturity. You now see things like exposure to research. Now, these are the type of things that are specific, that determine selection criteria. And the moment you meet the requirements in the selection criteria, you will see that you will be selected. In fact, your chances of being selected will be extremely high. But if you are meeting the eligibility criteria, but you are struggling with the selection criteria, then that means that there are still a number of things for you to do to improve yourself. Okay? Follow simple instructions to the letter. If the scholarship instruction states clearly that you should not exceed a particular number of words, pages, or characters, then you must do so. Then you must not, rather. Then you must not do so. You must not. If it says you should download a reference form on the scholarship website for the referees to complete, you must do so. Just download it. Don't say, I beg, that's their own. I'll go and do my own. That is how you will not be selected. Okay? The third one says that if it says you must take an English test, then you need to take the English test. And the last one says, please make sure you read the content of the scholarship website properly before you start your application. Some of you don't read the content properly before you start application. That is the reason why by the time you submit your application, they will now disqualify you on a very, very minute ground, something that doesn't really worth much, but they will disqualify you. Do you know why? Because instruction is extremely important. Following instruction is extremely important. So please take note. Whatever they ask you to do, you have to do it so that you will not miss out on scholarships just because you're unable to meet these simple requirements. Okay, let me quickly run you through a typical award-winning scholarship essay. Now, this scholarship essay, they have different names. You might hear it as statement of purpose. Some will call it personal statement. There are slight differences between them, but technically the contents are essentially almost the same. They are somewhat the same. You will see motivation letter, you see letter of intent. So the name of this essay, they come in different variations. Now, paragraph 1 of the essay should focus on the problem statement. It should focus on the problem statement. And what does that mean? A concern or a challenge in society which your acquired knowledge will contribute to solving. So you must talk about a problem that knowledge that you want to acquire from your masters, it will help you to solve. Very important. Very, very important. Paragraph 2. Paragraph 2 should focus now on yourself. The details in your profile that makes you an excellent fit for the program. If you made a first class, this is where to say it. If you were an exceptional student, this is where to say it. Okay? So that paragraph 2 is about yourself. Use it to talk about things that you've achieved, that you know that are relevant to what you're applying for. Paragraph 3. What attracted you to the course and school? What attracted you to the course and school? And in the paragraph, in the parentheses there, you can see it says convincing information about the choices you made. What attracted you to the course and school? You must drop convincing information. And this information, you must be clear about it. You can't be ambiguous. This is not the time for you to be passing comments that are ambiguous. Comments that any university can talk about. For example, when you say something like, oh, I chose the University of, I chose the University of Manchester because the school is one of the best schools in the UK, a very, very good school, and you end it there. You have not done justice. You have not done justice. You must only write something that is unique about that school, and other schools don't have it. Something that is unique, something that is spectacular about that school. That is what you're supposed to write. Not generic comments. Oh, it's a very good school. The school, there is peace in the school. I'm just interested in the school because there are many important personalities in the school. You know, there are experts that I can learn from. It goes beyond that. You must be specific. You must be specific with what you saw in the course and what you saw in the school. What is unique about the school? Okay? And finally is paragraph 4. Paragraph 4 is how you intend to utilize the skills or knowledge gained on completing the program. How do you want to use the knowledge gained when you complete the program? It's almost like a career plan. So that is the 4th paragraph. Talk about how you want to utilize that knowledge that you have gained from the program. How do you plan to use it? So please, that is what paragraph. Always end with this paragraph before you conclude your essay, because it's almost like a future plan. It's like a career plan, and it enables them to see that, okay, your masters will enable you or will draw you steps closer to achieving this goal. Okay? Now, for those that are interested in North America, I will quickly run through how to contact prospective supervisors. First of all, it is advisable to use institutional emails for communication. For example, babajide.macaulay@postgraduate.manchester.ac.uk, or a proper personal email like babajidemacaulay@gmail.com. So you can see, don't use childish emails, the one that you've been using from your secondary school, like sexybabyus2001 @gmail.com, like 30BG Julius. I don't know how Davido's 30BG is showing up in your email. Now, if these are things that you've done as a secondary school person, as you are getting into the university and graduating from the school, you better change all of them. You better create a new account and change everything so that it reflects mature emails, like all your name, your full name, so that it reflects mature emails. Your full name is what is needed. Do not let the message be too long. A maximum of 400 words is more than enough to convey your message. The message title must be short and catchy. A title that will compel him or her to click on your message to read. Make sure that the message title is compelling, so that he would have to click on your message in order to read it. Don't forget, if it is not compelling, he may not even read it at all. He may not even read it at all. But if your message is compelling, he would likely want to read it, to see, because he will click on it. He will click on the message title, and that will open up the message, and it will allow him to read your content. Lastly, you need to understand that these supervisors receive up to 100 emails a day. Yes, I kid you not. They receive up to 100 emails a day. Always remember that whenever you are drafting, your messages, remember that most of these people, they receive 100 emails a day. So remember that when next you are drafting your essay, or sorry, when next you are drafting your email, the cold email that you want to send to these supervisors, understand that it has to be short. It has to be short. Okay? So take note of this. Now let's look at the paragraphs for the email, the cold email. The paragraphs for the cold email. Paragraph 1 starts by revealing your full name. Macaulay Babajide Milton, or Macaulay Babajide Milton. See how I separated it. Capital letter for the surname, or use a comma to separate the surname from the rest of the names, or Babajide Milton Macaulay. Don't use capital, don't use comma, just put the surname at the end like a last name. So these are the 3 ways to write your name professionally. These are the 3 ways to write your name professionally. Now, also talk about what you currently do and the purpose of the mail. Then paragraph 2, your academic and professional background, write about it. Your current research, talk about it. Paragraph 3, what excited you about his or her profile? Cite an example of his or her most recent publication, which caught your attention, and how it is related to your area of interest. And the last paragraph, conclude that you would want him or her to supervise you, and that you look forward to receiving a positive response. Okay, so as I said, then attach an academic CV. Make sure that you attach an academic CV. Very, very important. So this is how the structure of a cold email should be like whenever you want to contact the prospective supervisor. Common mistakes to avoid. Now, I'm almost getting to the 1 hour 30 minutes mark, so I'm wrapping up so that I can take your questions. Common mistakes to avoid. Number 1, too lazy to do the scholarship work. Too lazy. What do I mean? Someone would share a link with you and you'll be saying, oh, I've seen the link, but can you just tell me what to do? Can you just explain to me what to do? That means you are lazy. You are very lazy. They've already shared the link with you. What you're supposed to do is to click on the link and read through it. But no, you don't want to read through it. Please, can you just explain it with your mouth? You are very lazy. Nobody has the luxury of time to look at you and start making full explanation. Nobody has the luxury of time. Number 2, looking for the exact course you studied at bachelor's. I've said this already in the beginning. E.g., you are looking for mass communication. Instead of you to be looking for communication, you are looking for political science. You might not find it as political science. There are courses that you can still do with political science. Courses like international development, you can still do with political science. So please understand this. Courses like history, you are now looking for masters in history. Please, come on. Courses like linguistics, stop looking for linguistics again. Start looking for communication. Courses like accounting, I've made this example already. You can do a course in Financial technology at your master's. Courses like biology. You are now looking for biology again. You will not find it as biology. You might find it as master's in biological sciences, or you could find it as master's in depending on the area of biology you are interested in. You can say masters in behavioral ecology. You can say masters in entomology. You can say masters in forensic biology. You can even say masters in ecology, right? So there are many specializations under Commonwealth that you can, there are many specializations under biology that you can take advantage of the moment you know them, because you are likely not to find masters in biology. You are likely not to find that. And the last one is geography. There are many courses that you can do with geography. A good example is environmental management. So you don't need to start looking for geography. The third one is putting your country or lecturers down, e.g., writing that your country is a scam or that your lecturers were incompetent. The moment you write things like this, you are not going to get a scholarship. I'm telling you, because the people that will read through it are lecturers. So they'll be wondering, why are you putting down a fellow lecturer like me in Nigeria? They are going to be so offended and upset. So don't put your lecturers down. Don't also put your country down. Just go straight to what you want to say. Focus more on your strength. Focus more on talking about your strength rather than speaking ill of your nation or speaking ill of your lecturers. Number 4, trying to use poverty as an emotional bait to lure scholarship sponsors. This one is not going to work. If you like, kill your father and mother and turn yourself into what do they call them again? Someone that doesn't have a father or mother. What do they call them again? Turn yourself into what's that word again? Someone should help me. What's the tag? The person that has no mother and father. What do they call them?
Orphan.
Orphan. Thank you. Orphan. Some people, they've turned themselves into an orphan on their scholarship essays. They've turned themselves into an orphan, and their father is alive. Oh. He's alive and kicking. He's in the East. He's alive and kicking. Mommy too is alive and kicking. But when you read their essay, they have murdered the two of them already. They are dead. Just because they want to showcase that I'm an orphan, I don't have anything, I'm alone, I'm very poor, then you start telling lies. Let me tell you this. Scholarship sponsors will not give you the scholarship just because you are poor. No. They will give you the scholarship because they see your competence. They see your competence and they see that you are capable of what? Doing well on that master's. The moment you're able to convince them that look at what I've done so far, I need this master's because it will help me achieve this for my future. Once you're able to connect all this together, they will give you the scholarship. So it's not something about poverty. I must showcase that I'm very poor so that they will give me. Don't be so they work, they will still not give you. The next mistake is being disqualified because you did not follow simple instruction. This one is your fault. Learn to read in between the lines and learn to pay attention to simple instruction and follow it too. And finally, grammatical errors, blunder in your application. Please, in this day and age of Grammarly, you have no excuse. You have no excuse. Your write-up should not have grammatical blunder in them. Okay? So make sure that you edit, you format, you use softwares like Grammarly that will help you ensure that all the grammatical errors in your document, have been removed. So take notes. So now this is the penultimate slide. I'm almost done. Get professional support if needed. Follow scholarship mentors online. Watch scholarship-related videos online, e.g., the YouTube channel by Dr. Olumuyiwa Igbalajobi, which is called Scholarship Cafe. You can actually follow him on YouTube. He's doing amazingly well. He's my friend and he's doing so well. My other friend is Victor Agboga, whose YouTube channel is also amazing. You can follow the two of them on YouTube for more information on tips, scholarship application tips. You can follow these two guys because I don't know it all. Everything you hear from me today are my reality. So in case you want to hear another version from somebody else, I recommend these two people on YouTube. They are fantastic people and they know what they are doing. Then get a mentor, e.g. Dr. Kelechukwu Onwukamike. Now, this is my very good friend. Very, very, very good friend. Now, he has an organization called The Camp. You can actually join because he is a mentor. He actually literally just trains youths. He trains youths on how, not just for scholarship, but also trains them for even personal growth and development. So you may want to join DCamp to see what they're about. Then another thing you can do is to join scholarship groups like the Achievers Forum, First Class Leaders Network, and so on. Or you do what I offer, which is I am a educational consultant. Okay, so I don't do mentorship. I am a consultant. But some people don't know the difference, so they always write me. So I want you to mentor me. I say, I'm not a mentor. I'm not a scholarship mentor. I'm not an educational mentor. I am a career coach, right? And I am also an educational consultant. But I am not an educational mentor or a scholarship mentor. I am not. So DCamp is the guy that does those stuff. So what do? I run Illumania, a registered for-profit company. Once you have a challenge, you have something, there is a need, you come to us like a client, you make payments, and we treat you like a client. We go through your submission, and we review your documents, and we send it back to you. That's what we do. So I am a professional consultant, not a mentor. So know the difference. And finally, so how to get to my website is www.illumania.org. Lastly is that you join virtual training sessions on scholarship essay writing, and there are some trainings like that I've come across. Once you come across these virtual training sessions on scholarship essays, please try to be part of them. Okay, and this is the last slide. There are two of them because I am giving you 20 Facebook pages. So this is the first 10. The last 10 is on the next page. 20 Facebook pages to follow for scholarship info. Facebook, because that's where I got all of them. I'm not sure whether they also exist on other social media platforms, but you can find out. But I'm certain that they exist on Facebook. So please follow these pages on Facebook. Why is it important? When you follow them, you will not miss out on any opportunity at all. You will not miss out on, as it they drop, as it they hot, it is coming onto your timeline. It's coming onto your timeline. As it they drop, it's coming onto your timeline. So what are these pages? Scholarship Union, Scholarships and Opportunity, Opportunity Desk. That's the one that you people probably know of. Opportunity Desk, Opportunity Venue, Opportunity for Africans, Erasmus Mundus Nigeria, The Shoulders of Giants, TSG. I own that one. Scholarships Corner, Scholarship Portal, Scholarship Ad. The last 10 are Scholarships and More, Africa Scholarships, Scholarships Online, Scholarship E-Portal, Embassy Scholarships, Dev Scholarships, Scholarships for International Students, INCIVIBS Scholarship Forum, Scholarships and Job Opportunity, and finally, Moments with Bren. Now, this person's name is actually Brenda, and she does so well with her platform. She's also on Twitter, Moments with Bren. She shares fantastic opportunities for you to go abroad and study, particularly in North America. That's her specialization, particularly in North America, because she's in Canada doing her PhD. I think she probably should have been done with her PhD by now, but that is why she is focused more with North America. Okay. All right. So thanks a lot for listening. For the past 1 hour 30 minutes, I think I finished on the dot. Exactly, it's 9:30. So I finished on the dot 1 hour 30 minutes, and then you can follow me on LinkedIn, Babajide Milton Macaulay PhD, on Instagram and Twitter, which is Macaulay BM, and on Facebook, Milton Babajide Macaulay. I will stop sharing now, and I'll take your questions. Thank you.
Oh wow, that's really awesome. Thank you so much for the insightful session. Really appreciate that.
You are welcome. So I'm
the
back.
multi-award winning Dr. Babajide himself. Someone has their hands up. Agumbiade Oluwatosin, are you?
Yes, please.
Why are your
Let them
hands up?
ask.
Do you have questions to ask?
Please go ahead and ask your question, please.
Probably they have it raised up by mistake.
Oh, I see. Or you can use the
chat session. Yes, you can use the chat session to drop your.
If you feel a bit
your questions.
okay, I don't want to ask, then please go ahead to use the chat.
Yeah. So on the YouTube, we have a couple of questions from the YouTube.
Okay, please.
Yeah. So the first one is from Anita Hart. And so she's asking, hello, Dr. Macaulay.
Yeah.
Is it possible to apply and get an international scholarship without NYSC?
Okay.
Certificate and experience. Is it possible to get an international scholarship without NYSC certificate?
Yes, that answer is simple. The answer is yes. And the reason is this. The scholarships that you're applying for are probably international. So they don't even know what NYSC is. So by all means, exactly. So by all means, you can get even Commonwealth without your NYSC certificate. Commonwealth shared. So yes, you can. That is fine. Okay, Agumbiade said it was a mistake, sir. All right, thank you. Well done. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right. The other question I have here, still on YouTube. It's from, I think it's from Obayemi Temitokwe. Speaking of when you were talking about SDGs and how they can tie their career goals to SDGs. So she is asking what SDG can we link to accounting or finance studies? What SDG can we link to accounting or finance studies?
Okay, so when you look at resource management, there's one SDG that has to do with the management of resources. Is it effective use of resources, or is it? I can't remember which of them. I think it's towards the end. That is, it's between 15, 16, 17. 15, 16, 17. When you check, there is one that has to do with resources. There's one that has to do with economy. I think it's economic stability or something. But I'm telling you that there is one. There will always be one. Now, the wisdom is for you to know how to tell the story, connect it. The wisdom is for you to know how to connect it. But I'm certain that there is one on resources or economy. You know, I can't recall which of the SDG. There are 17 in number. I don't know everything in my head by heart. But then when you check, you would know that there is one on resource or on economy, right? That's the one that it is easy for you to tie to accounting. Again, accounting is not the course you are going for. Accounting is probably the bachelor's. The master's can be financial technology. Okay, all right.
Thank you very much, Doctor. I have another question here. Um, it's from Israel King Awuni Yakiri. He says, how do we know the standing out characteristics of like the school? So I think that's like when you're applying to the school and you're writing maybe an essay or a statement of purpose. So he's asking, how do you know the standing out characteristics of the school?
This is a very good question. It's very simple. Visit the website of the school. Not only that, visit the web page of the course that you are interested in. When you get to the landing page of the course that you are interested in, and you are reading through the requirements of the course and everything, you would see the school will try to boast about why you should pick them for that course. They can tell you something like they are the best. Okay, let me give you a good example. Maybe you're applying for MPH, Masters of Public Health. They can get there and say they are the few universities in the UK registered with the National Association of Public Health, blah, 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 in the UK. That is one achievement. That's one achievement. They can also tell you that they are one of the few schools where the moment their graduates are done, they get an automatic certificate in public health, something, 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 so that they can practice. That is an extremely important achievement that you can now talk about in your application and say, I chose this school for public health because it is one of the few schools registered by the National Association of Public Health, blah, 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 in the UK. Number two, upon graduation, I will have access to a certification that will enable me practice. The moment they read it, they know that you've done your due diligence. You've gone to read up, you've read up. So let me tell you where it is. On the landing page of the course, scroll down, read through. The problem is that people don't read. Read.
Yeah.
You will be able to extract this information.
Yeah. Reading is very, very important.
Very important.
Go the extra mile.
Exactly.
Someone is asking on YouTube. Let me just quickly attend to that. The person is talking about when you mentioned about fellowship and scholarship. And so the question is, what is the difference between scholarship and fellowship, and all the things that you've taught so far? Does it apply to fellowship? All the things you've taught so far, does it apply to that?
Fantastic. Now, is that what I think it is? Okay, sorry. I keep looking back. Okay. Yeah. So, for scholarships are usually for academic achievement. For academic pursuits. Scholarships are usually for academic pursuits, while fellowships are usually for soft skill development, like leadership, like networking. That is what fellowships are often for. Scholarships are often for academic pursuits, and that's what it is traditionally. That is why I have won both, and I'll tell you why I applied for both. There was a time when I saw a fellowship for leadership and networking, and it's the Carrington Youth Fellowship. I applied. They are not going to teach me anything that has to do with bookwork. They were teaching me things that had to do with growing my career as a professional. I was learning things about media. I was learning things about corporate law, so that when I start my business, I know all the laws I need to be conversant with, so that I will not be caught unawares. I was taught things about using storytelling for public campaigns. I was taught about grant writing. So you can see these are things that will help your professional growth. That's fellowship. But scholarship is academic. You are acquiring an additional degree. It's a master's, it's a postgraduate diploma, it's a postgraduate certificate, it's even a short course, or it's a PhD or an MBA. So that's the major difference.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Another one from Agunbia De Oluwatosin. Babajide Oluwatosin is asking. Okay, before I talk about Babajide Oluwatosin, there's a question that talks from Amici Oscar on YouTube. Amici
Okay.
Oscar is asking if you can show number 11 to 20 of the Facebook scholarship page. He missed that. Actually, the doctor is going to share these slides with us, and we're going to send it across to everyone that registered. We have your email, so we're going to send the slides across to you as soon as we get it from Dr. Macaulay. So let me go to the other question. It says, how can I get recent scholarship on research? Okay, so the person says they are a final year student of medical biochemistry, and they're asking how can I get recent scholarship on research biochemistry course, fully funded one in Texas or Canada?
Okay, my answer to you is that you are not ready. Let me tell you why. And I'll tell you why. You are not ready because you are so specific, like you want to go and pay. Do you want to pay? Do you have the money? Don't forget the expression that beggars don't have what? Choices. Beggars don't have a choice. Let me tell you what often happens. I am not a babalawo. So I can't sit down here and tell you that I know all the secrets. I will tell you how you get into Canada. I will tell you how you get into Texas. In fact, you are even telling me one of the states in America. Can you imagine? Like I am sitting on the committee that will select you, Abi. That's not how it works, Tosin. Yeah. That's not how it works. Let me tell you how it works. You have no control over this. All you do is to put all your, like, you spread your tentacles. You spread your tentacles. You try Canada. You try the US. You try Europe. My dear, you try everything. When you try everything, the one that fate, F-A-T-E, the one that fate says that is yours, is the one that you are going to get. At the end of the day, it might not be the Texas one that you will get to. It might be the one to Waterloo in Canada that you will get. It might be the one to Victoria in Canada that you will get. It might be the one to Edinburgh in Scotland, UK, that you will get. There is no assurances. Nobody, look, if you find anybody sit down like me, tell you, I can get you to Canada, I can get you to the US, I can get you to this. Let me tell you the truth, half of the time, they can get you to the US, yes, because there are over, 5,000 schools there. And then you have to try many schools. So that is easy to say. But they can't particularly say, let me get you into Texas A&M. They can't say that. If they tell you that, na scam. Now me tell you, say na scam. Na scam. Because they don't sit on the committee. They don't sit as a committee member. They don't sit on the board. So how can they say that? So here is what I'm going to say that you should do. You are studying medical biochemistry. Fantastic. Understand what area of medical biochemistry that you are interested in and ensure that if you are in your final year, make sure that the project you do resonates with it. Make sure that the project you do reflects your interest. Try your best to ensure you do that. The moment you do a project that is related to the area of medical biochemistry that you are interested in, the next thing you will do is, if you're interested in the US, because I can see Texas there, if you're interested in US, I've told you, cold email. So use that emailing prospective supervisor. Find universities through Google, find universities offering it at PhD level or masters, and then find professors in those schools that are doing or that are specialized in your area of interest. Then send them those emails. Attach your CV. The professor will write you 3 possible responses. The first one is either no response. The second one is then my lab is full. I'm sorry, I can't take any more. And last one is, I've gone through your profile. It's quite interesting. Please go ahead and apply. So if you get response 3, then you can start your application. And trust me, I would say if you're interested in the US, try 5 universities minimum. 5 universities minimum. Don't try Texas A&M or Texas whatever, Texas Tech, and then say that's the school I want to go. If something happens and they don't pick you, you are back to square one. So spread your tentacles. Don't say it has to be one, because beggars don't have choices. All right. Next question.
Thank you very much for that, Doctor. Someone has their hands raised. Mutsi Iyke-Osuji.
Okay.
Do you have a question?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Let us hear.
Good evening, Moshood.
My name is. Good evening. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you clearly, Moshood.
Yeah. My name is Moshood Mutiulai. If it has to be 500 level building.
Oh.
So my question is it possible for an undergraduate student to secure a PhD admission, or what are the criteria for securing PhD admission?
Okay, so it is not possible for an undergraduate student to secure PhD admission because you've not even graduated. You have to graduate first. Be a graduate. I think maybe what you want to ask is it possible for someone with a bachelor's degree to get a straight PhD? The answer is a yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is a yes. Someone with a bachelor's degree, that means you've completed your undergraduate. Yes, the answer is yes. But I will tell you, the country where it happens often is the United States. So the moment you want to do that, just go to the US. It is not common in the UK. Although I was once offered a straight PhD, but I didn't get the scholarship in the UK. I was once offered a straight PhD in the UK, but I didn't get the scholarship. So it is not common in the UK. In the UK, it is often reserved for people with first class. In the UK, it's often reserved for people with first class. For US, anybody can get it. In fact, a tutu. I have a client. I had a client in 2021 who got a straight PhD, and she had a 2-2 bachelor's. But let me tell you the secret. You know that I gave you a list of 10 factors that you need to have 5. She had a 2-2. She had a 2-2, right? CGPA. So she couldn't use her CGPA as strength. But guess what? She had publication, 5 papers. She had 5 papers relevant to that course she's going for. She had served in different capacities. She has led in different capacities. That's 3. She has skill sets. She went to go and learn SPSS and R. So she knows statistics so well. And she also added it there. And I think the last one is she has some non-academic achievements because she has won awards of most competent intern, where she did that internship, and she added it there, right? So she had a whole lot of other things. 2-2 wasn't the issue anymore. So when people talk about 2-2 can win, it's not that you don't have anything. Now only 2-2 where you get, you can't carry about. You're not gonna win anything, no. Make I tell you now. If not only 2-2 you get, you're not gonna win Shingban. I'm not a motivational speaker, so I will not tell you lies. I won't tell you inspire, to aspire, to perspire, to Maguire. I won't tell you that one. I will tell you the truth. Okay, because I am an academic. That's who I am. I'm an academic. So let me tell you now, if it's a 2-2 you have, look at that list and make sure what are the other things I have that will give me, that will make my profile strong. Because if you don't have any of that and you have a 2-2, you won't still stand a chance. So please take notes. So yes, it is possible to go from bachelor's to straight PhD. Absolutely possible. Your destination is likely to be the United States.
Yes, sir. The criterion.
Yeah. Oh, to get in, there is nothing special. Yes, it is the same process You check the university that is offering your course at PhD, then you check the professors in that school, check whether any of the professor is specializing in an area that is similar to your interest, then you send the person a cold email. The same process. Send the person a cold email, attach your CV. Make sure that your cold email is well written. The moment the person sees your CV and sees the things that you've done, the person is likely to call you, because that's what happened with this lady in question. Her CV was solid, had everything in there. So the lady, the person she contacted was a professor, a female professor, and the lady was stunned. I said, the response, she sent it to me. What caught the professor's attention was her publication. Wow, you have 5 publications, and I love them because she went through each paper and realized that they are relevant. Let me give you more details. She studied FAT, fishes and aquaculture, in FUTA. FAT, that many of you will say, peja. You know how we used to make fun of these people. Peja in FUTA. They will say FAT. What is in FAT? This lady studied FAT from FUTA. But at the end of the day, was able to publish relevant papers around fish feed, different combination of fish feeds. Her papers were focused on that. Enrichment, feed enrichment for fishes in order for them to perform, to enhance their performance. That was her specialization, and the papers were on that. So the area she was interested into was on fisheries and aquaculture too, for her master's. So this professor, she's also an expert on developing feeds for fish. So when she saw those papers, she was amazed because they were using local materials to enhance the feed. And that really got her attention. And that is how the professor said, please go ahead and apply. And lo and behold, her SOP was good because she brought it to us. We reviewed it and they accepted that. With her tutu, I'm sure by now she must have finished her PhD. Or no. She's still on her PhD, I'm sure. Sorry, because her PhD is 5 years. And she got it in 2021. So what did 2026? Yeah. So that's the answer to that.
So much. Thank you so much, Doctor. We
You're welcome.
will be taking maybe just 2 more questions so that we can let Doctor. So,
thank you so much, because I've been speaking all day.
yes. Thank you so much. It shows how much value that you offer. So I have someone has their hand raised. Akos Habib. Do you have a question? Akos Habib, Akorede. Okay. Since it's probably a mistake.
Okay.
So, but I have a question here, and the question is, I think this is speaking of like when you want to transition and you're applying for a course that is different from what you did in your background. So the person is saying, like, what do you do when the course that they studied is different from what they are, that's what they are going in for? Okay, and how do they find, how do they try to bridge a gap between the two?
Very good. So I think I explained that during the conversation, but I will touch on it again. By the way, our course is on Milton and Milton. I think he probably wants to speak, but we can give him a chance. If he has some,
I want to talk.
Okay, please, go on. Go on, of course.
All right.
Okay, good evening, Doc. I've been following you for a while. It's really a privilege talking to you tonight. I'm so glad. Very happy.
Good evening. Thank you so much. Good evening.
Awesome.
Good evening.
So, you already answered one of my questions on 2-2. Actually, I finished with the 2-2, but I studied geology actually, but I'm working currently in a field that is not even in geology at all. I'm working with a flour milling company. I'm looking forward to maybe pursuing a career in flour milling because currently we have been trained as millers. So I'm looking at that, and before then I've been training myself, like self-learning in data science. I have seen that I have a lot of passion for data analytics, and I'm really growing my skills in that as well. So I don't know what your, as in what advice you are going to give me regarding studying abroad or even working abroad. And then secondly, I'm just going to pack all the questions together. I have an issue with my NIN. On my NIN, I have only my name and my surname, but on my certificates, there are 3 names. I don't know, maybe that's going to be an issue when applying for passports and other documents. So that's my question, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you clearly.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, very clearly.
Because I can see that Charis Folks is still. Can Charis Folks hear me?
Yes, I can.
I don't know what is going on. On my platform here, your face is still.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me just go on. So to answer you, the first one, you said there is a new area, flour milling. The same thing applies. It's similar to what the other person said. An area that you are interested in that is different from what you studied. So I'm happy that you've spoken, so that the 2 questions I can just answer them together.
Yeah.
If you studied something, but suddenly you found out that you're no longer interested in it, you like to have your master's or PhD in something different from what you studied at your bachelor's, it's not a problem at all. The only thing is this: you cannot immediately pursue a scholarship immediately, because you do not have any background or profile, anything like an experience in the new thing yet. So what you should do is to take 1 or 2 years off. That, when I mean off, I mean don't apply for all those things yet.
Okay.
Jump onto an organization and start learning, start building, start learning, right? Build your profile, your competency.
Wow, I think Rob is having an issue with his network.
Yeah, I'll just wait for him for a couple of minutes.
Okay.
So while we're waiting for him, it's been a nice session. Brilliant questions, intelligent questions here and there. We will continue the session tomorrow. The Impact Bootcamp continues tomorrow, Saturday, 8 a.m. West African time, Lagos time. And
please, can I ask for a favor?
Okay, please go ahead.
Can you please share the 10 points that he talked about? Actually, I joined the meeting late.
Yeah.
So I can, it can also be used for one to assess one's chances.
Yes, definitely. We are definitely. We are going to share it. We have what's it called now? Did you register? Did you register through the website with your email submitted?
Yes.
If you did,
yes, I registered.
Yeah, then if you did, then I think it's back. If you did, then we're going to send. We already said that earlier. We're going to send the email, the document. It's going to send the document to us, and then we're going to send it out to everyone.
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, welcome back.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I've decided to join with my phone because I don't know, my laptop started misbehaving. But let me just join here now. Okay, so I've joined with my phone. So to finish off, I'm not sure whether you guys even heard my response.
Did you hear my? I heard you to the point where you said we should start building. That's if.
Oh, okay. So let me just complete it here now. So what I'm saying is, you won't be able to apply immediately. It will be good that you take some steps back, 1 year or 2, to build your profile in that new course. You need to build your profile in that new course. Take 1 year or 2 to do that, right? And the importance of doing this is to ensure that you have some experience to share in your SOP. You have some experience to share, because if you don't have any work experience, there'll be nothing to talk about. I'm telling you that you are going to struggle. You are going to struggle, right? But when you have 1 or 2 years experience, you will see how your SOP is going to be. You have a lot to talk about. So my advice is, like you now that you're already in the company, fantastic. Just, how many years have you been working with this company?
Just 7 months now. This is the 7th month.
Let us make that a year. Let's make that a year. By the time you clock a year, please go ahead and start your application for that new area that you want to apply for. That is similar to what you're doing right now. You can go ahead. Then for the first person that asks, course is different, I'm saying the same thing. Okay. Please, if it's different, take 1 or 2 years gap from applying for all these scholarship opportunities. Take 1 or 2 years gap and do what? Just focus more on gaining experience in that new area that you are interested in. After you spend a year or 2 in that area, please go ahead. That's when you're going to stand a big chance to win.
Okay, this is going to be the last question.
Okay, the very last one.
Sorry, I asked a question regarding NIN name.
Oh,
name
yeah.
Oh, yes. So I want to get something. Your NIN is different from what? The name on your NIN is different from what?
From the name on my certificate, like my BSc and O-level certificate.
By the way, they're not going to need your NIN for anything abroad. Your NIN is a Nigerian thing here. Your NIN is a Nigerian thing here. So if you're applying, they're not going to ask you for your NIN to do anything. They will ask you for your international passport. I hope that the name on your international passport is the same with the name on your certificates.
I'm
yet to get my passport, actually. That's why I need the information.
Jesus Christi. Anyway, just be sure that the arrangement of your name, this is very important, so that you will not have a delayed visa issue. The arrangement of your name on your certificate is the same way on your international passport, so that you will not have any problem whatsoever. Because a Macaulay Babajide is not a Babajide Macaulay. So take note. It is not just the names, it is also the arrangement. What the first name is the first name. What the middle name is the middle name. What the last name is the last name. Don't scatter it around. Okay? So take note of that.
All right. Thank you very much, Doc.
You're welcome.
So the last question from David.
The very last one.
Yes.
Okay.
David is a biochemistry, first class biochemistry graduate, and he's looking to he's looking to transition to public health in his master's or PhD. So he's asking, I think all he has is undergraduate experience. So he's asking what should he
what was his GPA? He should use that 10-factor list. What was his GPA? If he should use that 10-factor list. Oh, Igiwe 4.80.
Yeah.
I dey fear you. I dey fear you. By the way, this is the only issue you are going to have. I have only one question before I tell you to proceed. Biochemistry has different parts. There is food biochemistry, there is medical biochemistry, and there are other kinds of biochemistry, even nutritional, right? There's even the enzymatic one, right? So biochemistry has a whole different kinds of parts. If you're interested in public health, then it's the medical one I think you're probably interested in, or the nutritional one, so that the aspect of public health is going to be nutritional health. But what aspect of public health are you even interested in? Let us start with that. I hope you know that public health is an umbrella. It's very big. There is epidemiology. There is mental health. There is maternal. Fantastic. Epidemiology and biostatistics. You are on point. Now, my next question is simple. You can see that I know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
My next question is simple. Your dissertation, your project, did you do anything remotely close to epidemiology or biostatistics? Did you do anything? Fantastic. Go ahead and apply. You don't need to ask me anything, Joe. And your first class is solid already. Go ahead and apply. Apply for public health, your SOP, make it crystal clear that your bachelor's project was on epidemiology, explain everything, and then also explain that the area of public health you're interested in is epidemiology and biostatistics. If you're interested in the United States, make sure that the professor you select is a professor that is doing epidemiological research so that everything will be consistent. Does that make sense?
Thank you very much. I think.
Okay. All right then. Well done. Thank you.
So he says, I think he's still asking a question. What can you start learning?
What can you start doing?
Learning.
Well, what can you start learning? Well, since you're interested in biostatistics, start learning statistical tools that will help you, like R. Right now, biostatistics, many departments are looking for people that have the background in R. So if you don't know how to use R, go and learn R. I hope you know what I mean by R. R programming. Go and learn R. Very good. Because today, many departments abroad that are into statistics, they want students that know how to use R. You might know how to use SPSS, but these days they consider R. So go and learn how to use R.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
You're welcome, David.
To ask one particular question.
You are the guy at the top now. I can't say no.
Yeah, because you talked about people getting rejections, and so I wanted to talk about that. Like, should people prepare their minds? Having like prepared everything, how should people respond to rejections? What's the ideal response to rejections when they come or if they come?
This is a fantastic way to end this session. It's a fantastic question to end this session. Rejection is normal. Now, I'm sure some of you would think that, oh, my profile must be so solid with all the scholarships is won, blah, blah, blah. I still chopped rejection last year. I chopped breakfast, solid one. It's not purple, solid food. They gave me breakfast. In fact, it was a 3-course meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 3 square meals. 3 square meals, rather.
Wow.
I chopped breakfast last year. So what am I saying in a nutshell? Breakfast is very normal. Very, 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 very normal. Why is it normal? Do you know how difficult it is to win an international scholarship? Do you know how difficult it is to win a fully funded opportunity abroad? There are many people. Do you know how many countries are applying at the same time? So if they look at all applicants and say, we will give it to David, that means that you need to be rolling on the floor. That something amazing has just happened. So what am I saying in a nutshell? It is extremely difficult to win. As a result, when you get breakfast, my dear, just collect time, like say nothing happened, and proceed. How should you handle rejection? Develop a thick skin. You must develop a thick skin towards rejection. Every one of us, even the best of us, will be rejected. I want you to know that. The best of us will be rejected. So it's very normal. What the difference is not that you were rejected. It is that you stopped trying. The moment you stop trying, that's the end of it. You will never win anything again. But the moment you get a rejection and you don't stop trying, your success email will come. Trust me. Your success email will come. So never stop trying. That is the only way to handle rejections. Let me also add this. I have won about 13 scholarships and fellowships in my lifetime. 13. But nobody will tell you that I lost about 70. I was rejected like 70 times. In total, this 13, I won it in 20 years. Between 2004 and now, that's around 19 years, though. So let's approximate it to 20, because I've been winning scholarships for 20 years. The last one I won was just last year, the Quantic, right? For my MBA. That one was just won last year. So I've been winning for the past 20 years. In the 20 years, I've won 13, but I've lost 70.
Wow.
So I want you to realize that rejection is part of the game. If it devastates you and breaks you down, no problem. You have emotions and you are hot. I understand. Sulk for only 3 days. After that, get up and continue.
Yeah.
Sulk for only 3 days. Get up and continue. But if it discourages you from trying again, it means you have been defeated permanently. And that's not what you want. Okay? Because every one of us have chopped breakfast. I want you to know that. So never stop trying until you win. That is my parting words for you today. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Dr. Macaulay. Really appreciate such insightful session. A lot of people have been dropping their accolades. Really appreciate you. Please, if you want to catch up with Dr. Macaulay, you should head on LinkedIn. If you are, as a young person, don't have a LinkedIn account in this age, I think you are still playing. So you can always connect with
just the play.
They play.
Oh, thanks a lot, David.
I remember there was a particular time last year I left all social media platforms, I think for about 2 months because I had received rejection letters, and so I left all social media platforms for about 2 months, and I was only using LinkedIn. And one of the things that LinkedIn helped me with was people were always posting good news of like they got a job, they got a scholarship, and so those things were really helpful. And then I also like solidified my relationship with Dr. Macaulay through LinkedIn. So you can always reach out to him on LinkedIn. He's a very simple person. Just leverage on these assets of a person. And if you want to know more about his expertise and the services offered, head over to illumania.org. There you'll find more details about the SOP and CV and every other review and every other professional services and consultation services that he renders. Thank you so much, Doctor. Once again, we are so delighted to have you. So delighted to have you. Like I mentioned earlier, Doc will send the presentation, the slides to us, and then we would get it across to those who shared, those who registered, and that is the ones that will have their emails with us. That brings me to tomorrow's session. We'll have someone coming up to talk about how to market yourself in the corporate world. Her name is Angel Iyke-Osuji. She's in Australia currently, and she's working. She's done with her master's and she's working there in Australia. And so she will be coming to share insights into how you can market yourself in the corporate world, because you have to be very strategic. Okay, while you are pursuing your scholarship, you should also be making money. Okay, and you should also be developing your experience, your corporate experience. Okay, and so we have to understand that there are ways to market yourself in the corporate world. Don't just join people and say, oh, there's no job in Africa, there's no job in Nigeria. There are job opportunities that you can explore, okay, in Nigeria and wherever. you are watching us from while you are still pursuing your scholarship application. Permit me to also share with you, because Carrie's folks were particular about reaching out to people, sharing the love of God to people, and sharing about Jesus to people. And we're not just about your spiritual life, we're also about, especially young people. We're very passionate about young people, teenagers and youth. And so we're not just about your spiritual well-being, feeding on God's word and all those things. We're also passionate about your career life, every other aspect of your life, your relationship, your marital life, and every other thing, because we want to have more excellent people. Because we know if we can have more excellent young people today, then we can have a better future tomorrow. And so, if you are here and you're not, you have to understand. Like I mentioned earlier about rejections. Look at what Doctor mentioned earlier. There is also the God factor. There's also the God factor. After you know everything, all the theories, everything you need to know, look at Dr. Macaulay. After having so many experience and scholarship, he still had some rejections. So there's the God factor also, and that is what we see in this scripture. It says the horse is prepared for the day of battle, for victory belongs to the Lord. So there's one thing to know what you have to do, and that's what we have learned today. You know what you have to do, and then there's also the part of letting God play his role, okay, in favoring and blessing the works of your hands. And so we're going to end on these notes. We're going to pray afterwards. We're just going to say a word of prayer, and then, but before that, I would like to encourage you, if you have not received Jesus into your heart and you don't believe in Jesus yet, I would like to encourage you to receive Jesus as your Lord and Savior, because he died for your sins. And much more than dying for your sins, he resurrected with him for your justification, so that by believing in this, you can be saved and you can have eternal life. And most importantly, you can have a relationship with God. You can become a child of God. So if you have not received Jesus, I encourage you to receive him into your heart and believe him in your heart and confess him as your Lord. And while we are doing that, I would like you to just pray wherever you are and say, dear God, I've learned a lot tonight. Help me, and let your favor be upon me. Help me and let your favor be upon me. Help me and let your favor be upon me. Let your favor be upon the works of my hands. Let your favor be upon my ideas and my initiatives. Let your favor be upon me, because the Bible says Paul waters, Apollos Paul plants, Apollos waters, but God gives the increase. And that's similar to what we have here. You can toil and put in all the efforts. It is God that gives the increase. It is God that gives the victory. And so, Lord, I know that I've learned a lot today, and I receive your help. I receive your help. I receive your help, and I receive your favor upon the works of my hands. I receive your help, and I receive your favor upon the works of my hands, such that I know what to do, and I do them correctly. I hear correctly. The right ideas drops in my heart. The right people, the right information comes to me. The right steps that I need to take. I'm guided in the right direction. I know the right thing that I need to do, and at the right time. And the resources needed to do it is supplied unto me at the right time. Lord, you have to help me. Can you just say a word of prayer and just say it however you can? God will always hear. God will always hear. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Father, we thank you for Dr. Macaulay. Thank you for so much insight, so much wisdom that you have bestowed on him. Thank you for everyone that has joined us this evening. Thank you for so much information that has been passed across. Thank you for questions answered. Thank you even for the ones that we couldn't answer their questions, because you are going to answer their questions as well. Thank you because you have pointed a lot of people in the right direction. Thank you because you have brought a lot of people from darkness to light tonight. Father, we ask that your favor be upon us, that your help be supplied unto us, and that you bless the works of our hands, and that you minister ideas and information unto our hearts, so that we can be more productive. In Jesus' name. Amen. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us again. We'll be rounding up. Remember to subscribe to this channel so that you can be notified when the subsequent event starts. We're going to be having her come up tomorrow morning, and then we're supposed to have Finye Toyo tomorrow morning as well. But Finye Toyo had to. Finye Toyo will be on the plane tomorrow morning, so she won't be coming tomorrow morning. She'll be coming on Sunday night. Finye Toyo is going to be talking about how to land multinational jobs using LinkedIn. Trust me, she's loaded in that aspect when it comes to landing multinational jobs. Just like Dr. Macaulay is loaded with academics and scholarship, she's loaded with landing multinational jobs. That's on Sunday evening, and I think tomorrow evening we'll also have someone coming. She's going to be talking from an HR perspective. She's from the UK, and she'll be talking about like things that you need to know from the perspective of someone who has been into recruiting and an HR person. So we look forward to adding so much value to you. Look out for more information in your emails. And the session tonight, the recorded session, that's the slides, we'll be sharing with you also through your emails. Thank you so much, everybody. Do enjoy the rest of your weekend. See you tomorrow.